Greetings and salutations everyone, I'm Ekamek, this is Slay the Princess, Pristine Cut Edition. In the last episode we started a new run. As it is, we have given the Shifting Mound Omni Princess her Stranger. We've given her the Stranger first. That might do something interesting, but I don't know. Silently continue to the cabin.
You make your way up the short path to the cabin. You'll find the princess within. A warning before you go any further. She will lie, she will cheat, and she will do everything in her power to stop you from slaying her. Don't believe a word she says.
We have one new chapter 2 to unlock, and hopefully we'll be able to get it this time.
I'm going to go through with this, right? She's a princess. We're supposed to save princesses, not slay them. Ignore him. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
Proceed into the cabin.
The interior of the cabin is almost entirely bare. The air is stale and musty, and the floor and walls are painted in a fine layer of dust. The blade is your implement.
Take the blade.
You take the blade from the table. It'd be rather difficult to slay the princess and save the world without it.
Into the basement.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a staircase faintly illuminated by an unseen light in the room below. This is an oppressive place. The air feels heavy and damp, a hint of rot filtering from the ancient wood. If the princess really lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor. Her voice carries up the stairs.
Who's there?
She sounds dangerous. It's almost as if she's the one in charge down here. Don't let it fool you. It's all part of the manipulation.
Hey, I think I'm here to kill you.
Oh, are you now? Why don't you come down and let me take a look at you?
Great job. You gave away the element of surprise. Good luck, hero. You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall of the basement. She's so coldly beautiful. Is she really a threat to the world? Focus on the task at hand.
You weren't kidding when you said you were here to kill me.
Yeah, it wasn't a joke.
I know. You brought a knife with you and everything. But you don't have to try and kill me. You could always toss that scrap of metal to the ground and give the two of us a chance to talk things out.
She makes a compelling point. What if we didn't kill her? What if we just dropped the blade and talked?
Unfortunately, I need the new route, so we're going to have to go straight in.
Don't you dare. It's fine. We can decide what we want to do after we talk to her. Maybe she really is a monster. Killing someone in cold blood isn't very becoming of us.
Tighten your grip.
You ignore the trembling in your hands and tighten your grip on the blade.
You poor thing. Your hands are shaking. Are you scared of me? Because you should be.
You step forward, your grip on the blade tightening as you steel your resolve.
Oh? No talking then? Fine. What even makes you think you can kill me?
Oh, I can't.
I'm probably chained up in this basement for a reason, right? And if that knife is the only weapon you have, you'll have to get close enough to use it. So, you should just drop it. Best not to risk finding out what I can do.
She's unarmed. If you hesitate now, it'll be too late. End this.
Slay the princess.
You lunge forward without a moment's hesitation. You feel flesh easily give way and look down to see your blade already sinking deep into her heart.
Oh, this is it, isn't it? I'm almost embarrassed. I should have seen that coming. But I have to wonder, do you actually believe this was enough to kill me?
It's like she's convinced she can't die. Yes, even as she lays there dying, she entirely believes herself to be alive and well. But it's over, isn't it? She stopped breathing moments ago, that arrogant look still plastered on her face. But is it over? Really over?
Of course not, that was too easy. I'm not sure. She has to have some kind of trick up her sleeve. Of course it is. She's dead.
Yes, exactly. It's over. With your work done, you make your way back up the stairs, closing the door to the basement behind you. Why do I feel like we've done something terrible? You did kill someone. Greater good or not, something would be very wrong with you if you didn't feel at least a little bad. But it was for the greater good. One of these days that will sink in and help ease your guilty conscience. But that day isn't today. Let's just get out of here.
Leave.
You open the cabin door, ready to return to a world saved from certain doom. Only, a world saved from certain doom isn't what you find. Instead, what you find is nothing at all. Where a lush forest stood mere minutes ago, the only thing in front of you now is the vast emptiness of some place far away. What happened? Everyone is fine. It's just that you and the cabin are now far away from them. Don't worry. You'll be safe here. This is good. Everyone is happy. You'll be happy.
It would start raining now, wouldn't it? I was kind of hoping I'd get a better ending for saving the world.
This isn't an ending. In fact, now that the princess has been slain, endings are a thing of the past. No. This is the beginning of eternity. Your reward. This is what's best for everyone. Trust me. Time passes. You can't be sure if it's days or months or years or even decades. It's all a wonderful, boring blur. You've never been happier. Psst. Hey, we're not just going to stay here forever, right?
Hell no. Do you have any idea how to get us the heck out of here?
I do, but you're probably not going to like it. The blade. We can use the blade to get out of this. I can hear everything you say, little voice. There's only one thing it would want you to use that blade on, and I'm afraid that thing is you, dear hero. He's right. It's the only way out. Do you hear that? It wants to take this happiness away from you. It wants this wonderful place to end. Do you not? There's more for us to do, and the only way for us to do it is to take that blade and use it. Don't you dare.
Anything to get out of this hell.
Thank you. I made this happy little place for you. Is this not a good enough reward for saving the world? An eternity of bliss? You ingrate? Fine. Whatever. For the first time since time stopped meaning anything, you throw open the door to the basement and walk down the stairs. The princess's body is dust and bones, though the blade you used to slay her is still as pristine as the day you first held it. You pick up the blade, you stab yourself, and you die. The end. Nice knowing you.
Chapter 2. The Spectre.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
Okay, no.
Oh, don't you start grandstanding about morals. The fate of the world is at risk right now, and the life of a mere princess shouldn't stop you from saving us all. If he doesn't remember what happened, then maybe it's best to keep it that way. That's fine. It wasn't very hard to kill her last time. We'll just do it again. Well, if for whatever reason you're going to insist that this has happened before, at least your heart's in the right place.
Let's just hit it. Why is she... Actually, this might have unique dialogue because we did do what he wanted, but then we undid it.
Those are two very different questions. Let's say if you're back here... Oh, we listened to you plenty. We slew the princess just like you asked us to, and then you locked us away in an empty void for eternity. So we slew ourselves too. Well, if you killed yourself, then you weren't listening to me, because I would never want you to do that. Believe it or not, I care about you. And I believe your other question was something along the lines of, oh, what's the point of doing anything? What do you mean? Of course there weren't any consequences. We slew the princess, the world outside the cabin disappeared, we died, and now everyone's right back where they started. That sounds pretty consequence-free to me. Yes, but in this purely hypothetical scenario, that begs the question of how you got back here. Had you failed to slay the princess, what would have happened to everyone in the place you left? It doesn't matter, because we didn't fail to slay her. And if she's really back, which I doubt, it'll be just as easy to do it again. But after that nasty trick you pulled on us, maybe she's not the only one around here in need of slaying. Just stay focused, will you?
Can we talk about the princess a little bit? If anything, the world ended when I slew her. When I tried to leave, everything was gone.
That's a good point. How do we know we didn't have things backwards? Maybe slaying the princess was what ended the world, not the other way round. Yes, maybe this whole thing was a trick to get us to end the world. And now we get to go through the whole charade again, wholly aware of what's waiting for us at the end. But that's assuming she's alive in that cabin. We did kill her, after all.
But we also killed ourselves, so I don't think that we should be worried about permanence, were it not for the chapter title.
You're going to find her in the cabin. If the princess had actually been slain, you wouldn't be here. And let me assure you, killing her will not end the world. I don't know what you think happened to you last time, but it's a load of nonsense. You'll get your happy ending. I promise. Well, that's exactly what we're afraid of. Really? Living happily ever after sounds that bad to you? Oh well, there's no use arguing over your masochism. The cabin awaits.
Last time around I stabbed her in the heart and she died. How can someone like that end the
She
world?
just can. Great.
That's all.
Now, if you...
Proceed to the cabin.
A warning before you go any further. She will lie, she will cheat, and she will do everything in her power to stop you from slaying her. Don't believe a word she says. She won't be a problem.
Oh, voice of the cold, you could be so wrong.
The interior of the cabin is cold, a soft odour of dirt permeating the air. Cobwebs flutter in the corners. You can hear wind whistling outside, banging the shutters against the windows. The only furniture of note is an elegant antique table with a pristine blade perched on the edge.
And the mirror.
The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
So since this is my first time through this route, I'm not going to be doing any saves. When I get to future reroutes, then I'm going to be doing a lot more save scumming to see new content, but for now, because this is our first pass through this, I'm going to give it a pass.
It feels like no one's been here for a long, long time. Like I've been saying, she's dead. We killed her already.
You didn't say anything about the mirror on the wall.
That's because there isn't a mirror. There's a table, the blade sitting on the table, and the door to the basement. There's nothing else in here.
I call him a mirror. I call out the mirror every time because, dang it, at some point it's going to do something.
There's definitely a mirror.
Even if it's just bothering the narrator.
There isn't. Who cares if there's a mirror? Let's just go into the basement and find her body so we can be done with this.
I care about whether I'm being lied to.
As do I. I'm not lying to you. Use your eyes. There is no mirror. Why would I lie about something so meaningless? What good would a mirror even do? Let you waste time preening yourself instead of doing what needs to be done.
Approach the mirror.
You walk up to the wall next to the basement door. It's a wall. There isn't much to see here. This really isn't funny.
Wipe the mirror.
You reach forward and rub your hand against the cabin wall. But it was there a second ago, and now it's gone. Let's not spend much longer worrying over it. Clearly it's not even important enough to be acknowledged.
This whole cabin is different from last time.
Very different. Maybe that's because you haven't actually been here. I hope this means you'll finally drop that ridiculous second life proposition, so focus up. A lot's riding on this.
What harm could there be in taking the blade the second time?
Take the blade from the table. It would be difficult to slay the princess and save the world without a weapon.
Into the basement.
The door to the basement groans open, revealing an old banister and a creaky wooden stairwell. Everything is coated in a thick layer of dust, and you can feel it settle into your lungs as you breathe in the stale air. The very building itself feels dead. If the princess lives here, slaying her would probably be doing her a favor. The room below is silent. Nobody's here. Naturally. As much as I appreciate the optimism, you shouldn't be so sure. I guess we'll just have to go down and see. As you descend the final step, the form of the princess comes into view. A skeletal body, lying in a heap on the floor, its wrist still bound to the wall by a thick chain. Okay, she's definitely dead. It's just like I told you. Before you have a chance to finish your thought, the top of a head appears from underneath the floor.
Oh boy.
Two deep-set eyes stare up at you, followed by a mischievous, skeletal grin. And finally, the rest of the body floats up to join the head. Wait, this isn't right. What's going on here? Ghost! Oh. Wow. How absolutely terrifying. What's a ghost supposed to do to us?
Possess us and make us stab ourselves, naturally.
Oh, it's you. Hiya, Keller. I was hoping to see you again. I have some issues with how our last meeting went.
The princess drifts across the room into your orbit, gently running her fingers across your shoulders and down your neck as she circles you.
She still has that friggin' chain on, doesn't she?
Her touch is cold and ethereal, formless yet real enough that her icy fingertips send shivers dancing across your skin.
I was wondering how this could be any different to the nightmare, but no, they're doing this very differently.
So she has a body, and she's right there. That means we could kill her again, if we wanted to.
If we wait and see how things play out, then she's probably going to kill us, because we do know that this is going to spiral into into one of the chapter 3s for Nightmare, but sure.
I see you brought that annoying knife again. So, are you waiting for a chance to use it? Or are you here for something else?
Ooh, she even has the scar. Do you know why you came back?
How should I know? Why does anyone come back? Maybe I have unfinished business with you. Or maybe you have unfinished business with me. All I know is there's a hole in my chest. Not the big obvious one that you put there. There's something older and deeper, a nagging reminder that I'm not where I'm supposed to be.
Oh, wait, we can also yell at the narrator. See, this is exactly what I was trying to tell you about this in the wood. This already happened. We killed her.
Yes, obviously things are strange right now. I think it's safe to say that you've seen something you shouldn't have seen. Whatever worlds you've hopped between, whatever versions of me you've met, none of that matters now. There's no changing what's already happened. But you have a job to finish. Finish how? We already did what you told us. And now she's a ghost. You haven't tried slaying her yet this time, though, have you? And then what? and then you'll have saved the world. I think he's asking about what happens after we save the world. If that's even still an option. What do you mean, after?
You already know what we mean, don't you? So why don't you go ahead and tell us? You're going to try and lock us away in a timeless void again? Because I didn't much care for that.
I'm not going to lock you anywhere.
What an interesting choice of emphasis.
Yeah. The people who wanted you dead tricked me. The enemy of my enemy is my friend. How about we team up?
Nobody tricked you. I'm sure that other me gave you wholly accurate information that you wisely chose to act on.
The enemy of my enemy.
The princess circles you again, her icy fingertips trailing up your spine, sending shivers rippling across your flesh.
I don't want enemies. I don't want to fight. I just want to go home. Is that really so much to ask?
And just where is home, I wonder?
I don't know where home is. I just know it isn't here. But I can feel it calling to me from someplace far away. Wherever I'm supposed to be, it's out there.
How specific.
And how convenient for her. You see what she's doing, right? She's suggesting that the only way you can rid yourself of her would be to let her out, which, in case you haven't been listening, will spell the end of the entire world.
Is there any way I can help you get home? Do you need me to bury these bones?
No. Those bones are just a body. They aren't me. Bury them. Smash them. It won't do a thing. But you can help me. This place won't let me leave. At least, not alone. I've tried. Before you came back to me, I explored every inch of this place, even the spaces between the walls. But I never found a way out. I always wound up right back here.
Maybe we should just leave. If she can't get out on her own,
Then I shouldn't have pushed that button, sorry. She can't get out on her own, why do we have to do anything? We could probably just walk out right now and everything would be fine. You'd think that, wouldn't you?
hasn't got out and can't get out are two very different things.
Yeah, it seems like I can't get that text to play a second time.
Dull, anyway. It's more interesting if we make a choice.
But you can come and go as you please, can't you? So, let me hitch a ride. After all, you own me.
Absolutely not. Is she asking if she can possess us? She is. And I hope I don't need to explain why you can't let that happen. It would be catastrophic if she managed to escape this place. And if you let her in, there is very little anyone could do to stop her. Would she be able to see us if we went along with it?
Now isn't that an interesting thought? We could finally bring her face to face with him. I wonder what she would have to say to the one who wants her dead so badly.
You won't like how things play out if you go down this path.
Return, I need to think on this. You'll leave once we're out of the cabin? Or...
If I'm able to. But for all we know, that's not how it works. Maybe I'll wind up stuck with you for a long time.
Don't much like the sound of that. It's crowded enough in here as is.
It could be the best way to trap her for good. Doesn't seem like it would be very easy to end the world from inside someone else's body.
That is a very dangerous train of thought.
Ah, whatever. You only live once.
The princess swims through the air in front of you, pausing for a brief moment as her dark-rimmed eyes stare deeply into yours. There's a hunger in her gaze.
You're really trying to make it up to me, aren't you? Thanks for being a pal, killer. I mean it.
What are you doing? Don't just let her in. How many times do I have to tell you?
See you soon.
She rushes forward and then she's gone. A sharp chill spreads across your body. It starts in your chest, a freezing numbness flowing out from your heart, all the way down your limbs, your mind growing cloudy and confused as it settles over your very soul. I'm not sure I like this. Can we get a do-over? I'm afraid it's too late to stop now. The numbness gives way to a stabbing pain, your muscles twitching and convulsing violently, each involuntary movement causing more waves of agony to ripple across your body. You collapse to the floor, and everything goes dark.
Come on, you've got to get up. I know everything feels heavy right now, but we still have to get out of here.
Your eyes flick back open as you get your bearings, your vision swimming as...
So this is what it's like to be you, huh? Disembodied voice narrating your every move?
So, it doesn't work like that for you?
Clearly it doesn't, or she wouldn't have commented on it.
All these shards of broken glass on the floor, are they also supposed to be you?
Hey, I'm not a shard of broken glass,
It's okay. You can finish your thought.
I'm a voice? I'm me is what I am.
Who cares what we are? We exist. That's all that matters.
You don't have to fight. We'll all be out of here soon.
No, it matters. What we are matters. If I'm a shard of broken glass, then that raises some questions about certain other voices in here too.
I'm clearly the same thing you are.
They're not listening to me. Do they not listen to you either?
No, I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about him. You don't need to know what I am. You just need to know that I'm different from you. More important.
So, you're the one who pulled the strings and made me dead. I can tell you don't belong here. You're barely even there. Like the shape of something left behind. You're more of a memory than a person.
There's quite a few times where you get hints towards the narrator's true nature, don't
That's
you?
rude.
You're kind of like me, actually.
I'm just going to ignore her. You push yourself off the ground. The princess is nowhere to be seen.
Obviously she's nowhere to be seen.
Because I'm in here with all of you. Everybody knows that.
I'm setting the stage. The room is empty because you made a spiteful, idiotic, and all-round foolish decision.
You don't have to let him get to you. You're better than that. You're starting to make things right.
This is infuriating. Just whatever you do, you can't leave this place. It's not too late to fix this. Probably.
Leave the basement.
Your legs, weary with the weight of the princess's spectral form and clumsy with the cold that still pervades them, stumble towards the stairs.
I'm just trying to get home. You don't have to act like it's the end of the world.
But that's exactly what you leaving this place is going to be.
You don't know that.
I do. Wait, if she has a home to go back to, doesn't that mean that her leaving won't end the world?
It doesn't mean that at all. It could mean that wherever her home is, it's outside of the world.
Yeah, but it has to be somewhere, doesn't it? And if it's somewhere, then it's part of the world.
I suppose it's all a matter of perspective. Where does the world end and something else begin? Does the destruction of one open a door to another? Or is it the same world reborn?
Against the backdrop of the inane conjecture of meaningless little voices, your body continues its ascent up the stairs, staggering through the open door.
For how much you hate her, you aren't doing a whole lot to stop us from leaving this place.
Maybe the bossy one doesn't actually hate me. Maybe he even likes me. Or maybe he just knows that he's been in the wrong. Maybe he's trying to make amends too.
Not at all. I'll have you know that I do hate you, and I will continue to hate you for as long as I am able. It's just the weight of it all. It's too much for me to do anything other than describe and dictate.
And whine.
This body wasn't made to hold you and the princess. If you want to renege on your cataclysmically terrible decision a minute ago, well, you're the only one that can make that happen.
Trudge forward.
You continue slowly to the door, your feet like lead dragging across the floorboards, growing heavier with each step.
We're so close. Thank you, thank you, thank you. If we get out of here, I won't even care that you murdered me anymore.
That's what the witch said, but I feel like ironically this one is going to be easier to work with than the witch.
You lift your shaking hand and rest it on the door handle, but you pause before you open it, exhaustion sapping what's left of your will.
Was exhaustion really the best you could muster up? It's over. There's no use stalling. Let's see what happens next.
Open the door.
Shit. But exhaustion wasn't enough, was it? The handle clicks as you twist it, and then the door groans open. You collapse to the ground, you and the princess, free from the confines of the cabin. As you exhale from the effort, you look up and see...
I have to think, if it was going to be that difficult, then couldn't she have walked with us up to the front door and then possessed us so we could open it? I'm probably thinking too much about it, but anyway.
Yes?
Nothing. He's gone, and so is everything else.
So we did slay him after all. We had it coming, I suppose.
But what about us? Are we just stuck here in nowhere forever? Did taking her out of the cabin really end the world?
We're still here.
Yeah, but that thing you said earlier, are we not part of the world anymore? Are we in some world that exists after the world ends, or on top of the other world but not in it, or have we never been part of the world?
Okay, I've heard enough from these two. Let's see if I can pop out.
Pick up a passenger and take her to her destination. You feel a lightness in your chest as a pair of sunken eyes emerge from your body and stare up at you.
You actually freed me, didn't you? I'm outside. Thanks for giving me a second chance, Philip.
Don't mention it.
I think this is where I'm meant to be.
Bad touch! You didn't get the chance to respond, nor will you ever. It's time to leave. Memory returns. Until next time, guys, take care. I'll see you all around. Every time. The remains of violence, free from hesitation.